Hey there, Weather Geeks. It's weather for Weather Geeks time. It's the Wednesday edition, and boy, has today been kind of a crummy, clammy day out there. The clouds have been a little bit slower to break than we thought yesterday. We knew the day was going to start cloudy, but these clouds have been a little more persistent than I think we bargained for 24 hours ago. But we're starting to see some breaks in the overcast occurring as I record this at about 2:15 p.m., particularly now up around the I-90 corridor up towards the lakeshore. And this clearing is all pushing south. Let me put the satellite in motion here, and you can see how the clearing line has progressed across the lake, now getting into the northern tier of Ohio counties, and it will continue pressing south. So we are going to see the sun before the end of the day today. But boy, with the clouds persistent and a chilly northerly breeze, look at these temperatures here in the 2 o'clock hour. It's only 42 at the Youngstown Warren Airport. Keep in mind, we should be in the lower 60s at this time of the year. So it's 20 below average today. And these low stratus clouds, the base of them only a few thousand feet up in the air, definitely at this time of the year and again in the fall, can wreak havoc on temperature forecasts. Notice where it is warmer, where the sun is out. We've got temperatures getting into the mid-50s down in Columbus, mid-50s Cincinnati. And yes, those readings are below average as well, but it feels a lot nicer where the sun's out in central and southwest Ohio than here in northeast Ohio and western Pennsylvania today. All right, looking elsewhere across the country, we've got a few rainmakers, one up around Boston, and then here's a batch of showers out across the nation's midsection this afternoon. This is the kind of the front edge of the rain that's going to track our way for Friday morning, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but tomorrow is going to turn out to be a pretty nice day, I think. We're keeping an eye on the radar here across the deep south in the Plain States. The yellow shaded area here is where there's enhanced risk of thunderstorms, and this is a zone that's really going to light up several times over the coming week with the possibility of severe weather, and I'll have a little more on that in just a minute. No severe weather expected here, though. We're going to be high and dry for the rest of the day today, tonight, and right through tomorrow as well. So let's talk about the end of the week then, and I'm going to bring up the latest NAM model. Let's see here. We're going to skip right ahead to Friday morning. Well, here's the middle of the night, Thursday night, simulated radar product here with our leading edge of the rain here at about 5 in the morning, getting into central Ohio. Low pressure will be centered during the pre-dawn hours out across northern Indiana. Then as I roll this forward to after sunrise on Friday, here's 11 in the morning, and this is when I think we're going to be getting wet. Actually, it's going to start earlier than this. Oops, skip forward too fast there. Here's, back this up to 8 a.m., and this is when the rain's probably starting to push in. Here's 11 a.m., and then at 2 p.m. on Friday, the back edge of the shower is likely to be pushing through at that point right along our cold front. So the surface map Friday at midday will look like this. Low pressure up here, cold front down here like this. Warm front will be over in here. So we will be in the warm sector on Friday. Despite the raindrops, it's going to turn out to be a pretty mild end to the work week on Friday. Now, if you have outdoor plans on Friday, if you're looking forward to the end of the work week and want to get outside after work and school, the end of the day is your best bet. And, of course, we have the YSU spring game coming up in the evening hours on Friday. I'm optimistic we're going to get that in without raindrops. Here's a look at the simulated radar product at 8 p.m. Now, the model's not showing anything, and I think that's probably right, but I can't quite rule out there's going to be one or two stray showers somewhere in here. It's a low chance, but it's a chance worth mentioning at this point that at the end of Friday we could have a little backlash shower activity, but by far and away the wettest part of Friday is going to be the morning hours, and then we'll head into the weekend. Here comes Saturday, and this forecast a little bit tricky. There's some model differences here. The NAM model has a little batch of showers here, midday, early afternoon, somewhere in northern and central Ohio. The exact placement of this is real up in the air at this point, but we're going to have on Saturday probably a 30 to 40% chance of shower in the forecast, and behind that cold front that will bring Friday's rain, yes, it will be cooler for the upcoming weekend. So let's talk about the weekend then. We'll skip ahead to Saturday. I just showed you the NAM model. Here's the GFS model for Saturday. Starting out with showers pushing east of the area Saturday morning. Here's midday and afternoon Saturday. The GFS has nothing. So, I don't think the chances of rain Saturday are all that high, but there are some differences in the models that lead to kind of an uncertain forecast, and we are going to leave in a smallish chance for some raindrops on Saturday. Sunday, I think, is the better half of the weekend. This is Sunday afternoon. Area of high pressure just off the screen up to the north, and getting into a little bit milder of a temperature regime, I think, on Sunday. maybe we get close to average, which is in the lower 60s. As we head into next week, then, this is when things start to get ugly. And unfortunately, we are probably looking at several days worth of unsettled weather for next week. Talk about that in just a second. Severe weather, you've heard probably in the news that the tornado season, the severe weather season is off to a very slow start. That, of course, is a good thing. Things are going to start to change, though, as we head towards the weekend. This is a 3-day period that I think is going to be real active out in the places that we expect to see severe weather here in late April. Tornado Alley, if you will. Saturday, the risk is right here. Sunday, it's a little farther east. And then Monday, early next week, it shifts into the Mississippi Valley. But we're going to have an outbreak of tornadoes, I think, this weekend out in here. Lots of hail damage, wind damage. Finally, the severe weather season kicking into full gear out across the middle of the country. But that's not coming here. What is coming here is an unsettled period for next week. I'm showing you the flow about halfway up through the atmosphere, up at what we call the 500 millibar level. This is about, when I say halfway up, I mean in terms of the pressure. As far as the height above sea level, it's not halfway up. This is at about 18,000 feet. But this is an area, in the atmosphere we look at for various important features. I'm going to start this off with Sunday, and with this big bowling ball coming into the Plain States. Yeah, that's a big severe weather outbreak looking map to me right there. There'll be a lot of lift in the atmosphere to the east of this bowling ball on Sunday. And as we head into next week, this is Monday, and then look what happens as we head towards midweek. Here's Tuesday. That bowling ball, I called it, or upper level low pressure system is going to put on the brakes and just sort of lollygag, it looks like, around the Great Lakes. So this is Tuesday. And here's Wednesday. Notice it doesn't move much. Here's, I'm sorry, that was Thursday. And then here's Friday. It's still kind of hanging around. And so while this does not mean it's going to rain all day, every day, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be real cold, it will be cool, and I think we're going to have a chance for showers almost every day next week. So the end of April, beginning of May, not looking so hot here across the region. And speaking of temperatures, next week, yeah, chilly. Tonight, we've got a cold night coming up tonight. A lot of us are dropping below freezing. And just a quick reminder that it's not unheard of at all to see temperatures below freezing at this time of the year. A lot of information on this chart, but let me try to break it down for you a little bit here. What we're looking at is the percentage chance that you've seen your last 32 or lower temperature going by certain dates. So in other words, you look at this, and here's the 32 line right here, or the 32 box. In other words, by May 23rd, there's only a 10% chance at that point that you haven't seen your last freezing mark. And as you get earlier, of course, the chances get a little bit higher. Here's early May. May 7th is right here, and that's when you have still a 40% chance that you haven't seen your last freezing temperature yet. So even into that first week of May, in a lot of years, we still haven't seen the last of the freezing temperatures. So keep that in mind. The average last frost and freeze around here is around that, kind of 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th day of May. As you get into some higher elevations, especially over in Mercer County, the dates get a little later. But, typically you can't really sound the all clear totally with 100% certainty that we've seen our last 32-degree temperature until second or third week of May. But on average, it occurs earlier, generally end of that first week of May or early in the second week. So, a little caution for you. We've had some warm days lately. It's been tempting to plant some stuff and put some things outside, but a little early in the season for that where we live here in the Youngstown area. That's weather for Weather Geeks on this Wednesday. Check out my forecast tonight, 21 News at 6 and 11. I'll see you then.